mat. So come all the way over onto your mat to start today. We're just going to start in a low kneel position. We're going to go for a big inhale breath and circle those arms all the way up overhead, interlacing them at the top, and then pointing your fingers up like you've made a little, like a gun with your hands. And from here, we're going to lift up and over to our left side, making a nice big stretch down our right hand side. Beautiful. Centering yourself, and let's go up and over to the other side straight away. Beautiful. Nice big inhale breath here, and on that exhale breath, center yourself and open those arms all the way down. Good. Another one like that, inhaling to come all the way up overhead. Grab onto those hands. This time as we lean over to the left, think about really pulling that right hand away. So you're pulling with your left hand on your right arm to really stretch out down that right hand side. Good. Center yourself and let's go straight over to the other side now. Nice big inhale breath here. And on that exhale, center yourself, opening those arms all the way out, nice and wide. Beautiful. On this next one, let's go ahead and inhale to circle those hands all the way up overhead, but let's go ahead and come up to a high kneel this time. Beautiful. Exactly the same. Let's go up and over. You should be able to get a little bit more reach when we're in this high kneel position. Centering yourself and then reaching up and over to the other side, pulling on that hand to get as much bend through the side body as you can here to center yourself and then come all the way down. Beautiful. Let's continue with this now. We're going to come all the way up to a high kneel. Give me one side bend on each side. And then coming all the way down, circling the arms. You can work now at a pace that feels good for you today, getting as much of a nice juicy stretch on each side here as you can. Good, make this your last one. Nice work, team. All the way up and over. Good. The next time we find ourselves in center, from here, we're going to circle those arms back down. We're going to sit all the way down, but let's fall onto our left side. So we're sitting on our left glute. We're going to take our left foot to be touching our right thigh. So we've got one foot tucked behind us and the other foot is touching our thigh here. From here, our left hand is going to go down on the mat behind us and our right arm is going to float up to the ceiling. At the same time, we're going to press our hips all the way up towards the screen. Good. And then lower all the way down. Good. It's a press into that palm that's on the mat, lifting your other hand all the way up, finding yourself in a nice long line from your hand down to your knee, and then lowering all the way down. I'm going to change my position so that you can see what I'm doing with my hips. Each time we press into that hand that's on the mat, we're lifting all the way up. We're trying to make a big long line down our side, and then maybe send your eye gaze back to that hand to find yourself in a nice big back bend, and then sit yourself all the way back down. Good. Pressing into that hand, lifting up, hips go to the screen, finding yourself in a nice big back bend. The next time we come seated, let's go ahead and circle this left hand around and find ourselves in a forward fold, trying to take your nose down to your right knee. Good. Circling that hand all the way back behind you, pressing into the palm, lifting the hips nice and high, finding that back bend. Beautiful. That's the move now. We're working between those two movements. It's a press to lift those hips up nice and high, looking to the back of the room. As we sit down, our left hand is going to circle around in front. Nose finds that right knee. Beautiful. Working through at a pace that feels good in your body today. Really trying to make the biggest shapes that you can here in your body. If this is feeling pretty good and you'd like to progress and add on, Let's go ahead and take that right leg long now to the edge of the mat. We're going to continue to work through the same now. We're going to press through that left palm, lift the hips up nice and high, look towards the back of the room following that hand, and then that left hand is going to come around and try and grab onto that right foot if you can. Nose tries to touch that knee. Beautiful. Circle it back, hips come up. Beautiful work, team. Start to cycle this breath now, exhaling to press and lift those hips, inhaling to sweep around and touch that right foot. We're just going to stay here for another 10 seconds. Beautiful. Here just for another 5, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. From here, let's go ahead and bring that foot back in behind us. We're going to find ourselves back onto that low kneel. Beautiful. Here to transition, we're going to go ahead and come up to that high kneel. Our right foot's going to go out to the side. Let's go ahead and bend over that right leg to start. Centering, coming back out to the letter T with those hands, and now fall over the opposite direction, taking that fingertip down to the mat, sitting yourself all the way up, and then coming back down to that low kneel. Good. High kneel, left leg goes out to the side now. We're going to bend over that left leg to start. Arms unfold to the letter T, and then we're going to go the other way, trying to take that right fingertip down to the mat, restack back to the letter T, and then bring that knee back in to meet the other, coming into that low kneel. Good. This is the flow now. Working here at a pace that feels good in your body. Beautiful work. As we lift up and over, away from that long leg, really think about someone lifting you up at the rib before you tip over so that there's a nice length in that spine. Good. Keep on working through this now. Beautiful. This will be the last one. Beautiful. Keeping that leg out to the side. Let's go ahead and sit onto this right bottom. Good. From here, we'll bend that left leg in behind us to find that same position that we did on the opposite side. And when we're ready, we'll place that right hand down onto the mat, ready to do these hip stretches. So we're going to take that left hand all the way up, press through the palm that's on the mat to shine those hips up towards the screen, and then lower all the way down. Good. It's a press through that palm to lift all the way up. Hips are in a nice long straight line all the way down to that knee. Good. Another one just like this, pressing all the way up. Maybe looking back towards that hand and lowering back down. Good. On the next one, let's go ahead and add this circle through back with the right hand. So we're making the biggest round through our back, lowering all the way down, and then we're going to circle this right arm all the way around to find our nose on our left knee. Good. Uncircle that hand, find it back on the mat to press and lift the hips up nice and high. Lowering down, circling around, finding that nose on the knee. Good. I'm going to change my position again so that you can see what's happening in my spine as I work through this. It's a big back bend, looking all the way back if you can. And then we're going to circle that hand all the way around. Using that breath, inhaling to prepare and circle, exhale to press into that mat and lift the hips nice and high. Good. Like we did on the other side, if you'd like to go ahead and add on, let's go ahead and take that left leg now to the edge of our mat. Good. Continuing to work through this, we're going to press into that right arm. Lift the hips up nice and high. Look to the back of the room. Lower back down, circle around, touch the nose on the knee. Nice work, team. Really cycling this breath. Just another 5 seconds here before we'll move on. Make this your last juicy back bend. Beautiful. The next time that nose is on your knee, come ahead and sit all the way up. Good. From here, we're going to go ahead and take our other leg out nice and wide. This is where my legs get to. It's not going to be the same for everyone. If this is what yours is looking like today, then that's where it's at. No problem. All right, we are going to go ahead. Our arms are going to be extended out in front. And it's as if we're sliding our hands across a coffee table. Let's go ahead and reach forward, keeping those hands lifted at the same height the whole time. And then slide all the way back. Good. It's an inhale to slide those hands all the way forward and an exhale to slide all the way back. Good. Working through this. The next time we slide those arms forward, can we hold it there? Sliding those arms forward. Can you look down towards your belly button now? Rounding through the back of your t-shirt to slide those hands all the way back. I'm going to show you side on what I'm talking about. It's a hinge forward to slide those hands across the pretend coffee table. When we've reached the end range, our eye gaze is going to go down to our belly button. We're going to start to round through the back of our t-shirt. So you want to start to rock your pelvis towards your belly button and then slowly sit all the way up. Good. Another one just like this. It's an inhale to send those arms out in front. Look down to your belly button, round through the back of the t-shirt to sit up nice and tall. Beautiful. Keep on working through this for me. Really using that breath, inhaling to send the arms forward. Look to that belly button and round through the back of the t-shirt to sit tall. If you'd like to add on, let's go ahead and flex those toes up to the ceiling, keeping them flexed the whole time. Just another 5 seconds in this position. In 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and take these hands down to the floor now. And let's continue to do the exact same thing. So we're going to slide those hands all the way out, keeping our spine nice and long. Then we're going to look down towards our belly button, rounding through the back of the t-shirt to slide our hands all the way back in. Beautiful. It's a nice long spine to slide the hands away. Eye gaze goes down to round through the back of the t-shirt and sit yourself all the way up. Beautiful. Good, team. Maybe give me one more just like this. The next time you send those hands all the way out, can we hold it there? Good. Can you give me a little pulse and try and pulse those hands a little bit further each time? Beautiful. Can you flex those toes up to the ceiling as you work through this? We're just going to be here for another 5 seconds. For another 3, 2, 1. Good. Roll yourself all the way up. Beautiful. From here, we are going to bring our legs together on the mat. Beautiful. I'm actually going to spin around this way. Our legs are together. Our hands are down by our side. We're going to go for the same forward fold that we just went for, sliding our hands all the way out in front. Maybe take your eye gaze down to your belly button if it's available to you. Keeping your spine nice and long, can you send your hands all the way up to the ceiling? Beautiful. And then circle them out nice and wide. Good. Let's go ahead again. We're going to slowly send those hands away, sliding the hands down the mat. Eye gaze finds your belly button. From here, our hands and arms are going to reach forward, lifting all the way up to seated, and then circle the hands nice and wide to start to finish. Beautiful. Another one just like this, sliding those hands all the way out. Eye gaze goes down, hands lift off, nice long spine, and then circle the hands nice and wide. We're going to add on the next one. We're going to slide those hands all the way out in front. Eye gaze goes down. Lift your hands all the way up, but keep them circling behind you. Find them on the mat. Fingers are facing towards the outsides of the room slightly here. And then let's go ahead and press through both of our palms and our heels to lift our waist off of the mat. Good. Lower it all the way down. Sit yourself all the way back up to go for that spine stretch forward. Nice big long lift with the spine nice and straight. Circle those arms to the back. Lift all the way up. Eye gaze goes to the ceiling. Sit yourself nice and tall. Let's do it again. Working now at a pace that feels good to you, sliding those hands forward, reaching those arms up to the ceiling, circling all the way back, and then pressing to find yourself in that reverse plank. Good, team. 5 more seconds here. Maybe this is your last one like this before we go ahead and add on. The next time you press those hips up nice and high, can you hold it there? Good. Can you kick one leg up to the ceiling and lower all the way down? Repeat. Slide the hands forward, circle them up and around. Press to lift. It's the opposite leg that we're going to kick to the ceiling now. Lower all the way down. Good. Again, working here at a pace that feels good in your body, cycling that breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. 5 more seconds here before we're going to lift those hips up and hold. Make this the last time you send those arms long. Good. The next time you lift those hips all the way up, let's hold it there. Good. We're just going to go for these leg kicks. Single leg kick all the way up to the ceiling, trying to keep those hips lifted nice and high. Beautiful work. Here just for another 3. Can you lift those hips up any higher? 2. Last one. Lower all the way down. Give those wrists a little bit of a shake out. We are ready to move on, team. We're going to find ourselves in a 4-point kneel, down on our elbows. Beautiful. Our knees are stacked directly under our hips and our elbows are under our shoulders. From here, let's go ahead and rotate our forearms to horizontal position. So one arm will be in front of the other. Perfect. From here, let's go ahead and walk one forearm over the other until you find yourself in a low plank. And then we're going to go ahead and walk those hands back to find ourselves back in that 4-point kneeling setup. Yeah? We're just marching these forearms over one another, like so. I'll give you a quick little visual in case that's not clear. They're just walking over one another, yeah? Beautiful. Yeah, nice. Walking out to plank and all the way back into that 4-point kneeling setup. Quick little transition here. Make this your last one. The next time you find yourself in that 4-point kneel, go ahead and hold it there. We're going to pop up onto our hands now. So hands are directly under our shoulders now. We're just going to work through one hand here. We're going to lift our right hand only. So from this position, I want you to transfer as much weight as you can possibly think of into that left palm, and then take that right hand all the way up towards that shoulder and then replace it back down. Good. It's a 4-point kneel, and then we're just lifting that right hand up and replacing it back down. Really thinking about holding that weight in the left hand. So I want you to think about shifting all of your weight forward into your arms and then really pressing into that left palm to lift and lower the right hand here. Just here for another 5 seconds. In 3, 2, 1, lower that hand all the way down. We're going to transition now into a arm extension. Let's go ahead and take that same arm out to the edge of the mat and then return it back to the 4-point kneeling position. Good. It's an arm reach and replace it back. Let's go ahead and add the leg straight in. It's an opposite leg, so the left leg's going to go long and then bring it all the way back into a 4-point kneel. It's an inhale to prepare and exhale to lift. Good. Two more here like this before we add on. The next time the arm and leg goes long, hold it there. Can you lift both up in line with your spine? Good. Lower back down to the mat and then back to 4-point kneel. Good. It's an extend to the edge of the mat, a lift in line with your spine, lower it back down and replace it underneath you. 4 movements here. Don't forget to breathe. Exhale to lift, inhale to prepare. We're going to lose this return to 4-point kneel. This is the last one. The next time that arm and leg is lifted, let's hold it there. Can you take your arm and leg out wide? Good, and then bring it back to parallel, lower down to the mat, lift it back up. Good, it's out to the side, flaring out nice and wide, into parallel, lower and lift. It'll look something like this if you looked at me from the front. It's out to the side, back to parallel, it's a lower and a lift. Good. Inhale to open that arm and leg. Exhale to bring it back to parallel and then lower and lift. Beautiful. Keep it here for another 5 seconds, team. The next time you lift that arm and leg, let's hold it here. We're just going to open and close through this arm and leg out to the side and into parallel. For another 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Bring it all back in underneath us. Let's just sit those hips back very quickly for a quick child's pose. Using that breath to slow down that heart rate. And when we're ready, bringing ourselves back on top of our hands, we're going to go slightly wider with our hand position now. And our left leg is going to go out a little bit wider than the edge of the mat today. We're going to inhale to prepare here. And on the exhale breath, we're going to step our right foot back to find ourselves in a wide plank, like a shape of a star. Hips can be up a little bit higher if we need to, and then walk both knees back in. Reset. We're going to alternate which leg stamps out first. So this time we're going to take the right leg out to the width of the mat. Sorry, wider than the mat. Inhale to prepare here, and on the exhale, press through both palms and that right foot to take the left foot out to the star. Hold it there for a second if you can, and then walk both knees back in underneath you. Good. Another couple like this. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to stamp the other foot back. Couple of seconds hold if you can and walk both in. Make this your last one. Exhale to lift. How long can you hold this one for? Maybe for 3, 2, 1. Lower it all the way back down, team. If you need to give your wrists a quick little roll out, now's the time to do so. But if you're ready to move right along, let's come back into that 4-point kneel. We're going to shift our weight all the way into those hands again. And let's take all that weight into the right palm to go ahead and lift that left hand all the way up and lower it back down. Good. We're just picking the palm all the way up off the mat and then lowering it back down. Really thinking about all that weight here being in this right hand. Another 3 seconds just like this. Good. The next time that hand moves, let's go ahead and take a long arm out to the edge of the mat. And then bring it back into that 4-point kneel. Good. Exhale to send the arm long. Inhale to step it back to meet the other. Beautiful work, team. Let's go straight ahead and add the opposite leg back in. It's a right leg to go back to the edge of the mat. The left arm goes long. Then we return back to that 4-point kneel. It's an inhale to prepare and exhale to send it long. Beautiful work. Moving here at a pace that feels good in your body today. 2 more here before we'll add that leg and arm lift in line with your spine. The next time the leg and arm goes long, let's lift them both up, lower them down and back to quadruped. This is the flow now, working at a pace that feels good in your body. Always remembering to cycle that breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Although there's no nasal breathing for me today. Nice work, team. 5 more seconds here before we add that arm and leg out to the side. The next time that arm and leg is long in line with your spine, can you hold it there? Can you take both the arm and leg out nice and wide, return it back to parallel and lower it back to quadruped? Good. Sending that arm and leg in line with the spine, out to the side, back to parallel, lower it down. Good. Really pressing into that right palm to lift up and out of that shoulder joint as you work through these, team. Good. Lowering to the mat between each rep. 5 more seconds like this. The next time that arm and leg's lifted, hold it there. Let's just work through this flare out to the side, back to parallel. It's an inhale to open and exhale to close. Good work, team. Here just for another 3, 2, 1. Good. Lower it all the way down. Sit those hips back onto your feet. Nice long arms. Our forehead is down on the mat. We're in our child's pose stretch. That is the spicy part of class done. A little bit slower for you today. Let's go ahead and take our weight all the way into our hands and drop our hips down to the mat. Our eye gaze is going to go up here. Find yourself in that cobra stretch. We'll take a couple of cool down stretches before we leave it today. Big inhale breath here. And on the exhale, let's go ahead and send our hips all the way back to find ourselves back in that child's pose stretch. And when you're ready, coming all the way up onto your hands and knees, finding yourself back in that quadruped position. We're going to open up through the screen arm first, open all the way up to the ceiling, and then thread the needle to find your shoulder down on that mat, releasing through the back of those shoulder blades. Nice big breath here. And on the exhale, press through that hand and return that hand onto the mat. Let's go ahead and press and lift through the opposite hand now. Big inhale to lift, eye gaze goes up, and on the exhale, let's go ahead and thread that arm all the way down underneath, dropping that right shoulder down to the mat, releasing through that shoulder blade. Good. Nice work, team. When you're ready, come all the way up into kneeling. We'll go for one last circle to finish. It's a big inhale to circle those hands all the way up. Let's interlace them at the top this time. Press into the ceiling. Nice work. Maybe start to take your eye gaze further back to get a nice release through your back. And then let's slowly bring those hands all the way down to find ourselves finishing class today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. As usual, questions, comments, and feedback is always welcome.